After round 17, the verdict is in. G'day everyone, Matt Thompson alongside Match Review Panel Chairman Mark Fraser. Well, Mark, we begin with a hefty ban offered to Port Adelaide's Tom Jonas. He can accept 3 matches with an early plea, charged with rough conduct against St Kilda's Dylan Robertson. It's been classed as reckless, high impact and high contact.
Yeah, with this one, the whistle's gone for a free kick there, and you see Robin running onto the ball and then met with a very solid bump by Jonas. So we believe that because the whistle's gone, he has no regard for the ball and makes the high contact. That's a reckless act, and obviously the force involved is high, so that's his charge.
Yeah, I guess the question there was whether you did grade it as reckless or negligent, but as we saw, he copped it, didn't he, Robertson?
Yeah, he certainly did, and it was sort of well after the whistle had gone and with no regard for the ball, so we thought it was a reckless act.
All right, let's turn our attention now to Geelong's Jimmy Bartel. He's facing a week on the sidelines. He's been charged for making forceful front-on contact against Adelaide's Rory Laird. This one's been assessed as negligent, medium impact and high contact. He'd risk 2 matches if he fights the charge and loses. Yeah,
with this one, Laird has his head down attempting to pick up the ball, and Bartel gets the contest and makes the forceful high contact. In this instance, for frontal contact, there are 2 deeming provisions. Either there's no realistic alternative way to go for the footy, and we believe that Bartel's got a couple of realistic alternatives for going for the football, to try and tackle him or to get his hands down for the ball or even to whack it away. If there's circumstances outside of his control, and we don't believe there's any circumstances outside of his control.
Did he actually hit him in the head, do you think?
Yeah, it gets him in the shoulder region. With frontal contact, it's sort of from the shoulder up, so it can be sort of the top of the shoulder, neck or head. So
that's why it's judged high?
That's why it's judged high.
OK, also from that game, Geelong's James Podsy Adley, he can accept a reprimand for rough conduct against Richard Douglas. This was rated negligent, low impact and high contact.
Yeah, in this instance, you see Douglas with the ball, he kicks it, and then Podsy Adley comes in and bumps him late. With that, the shoulder gets him in the head, and Douglas is down for that little bit there, and we believe that that's enough force for a low impact charge. Yeah,
and that was, I guess, the main question there. Was there enough impact?
Yeah, and I suppose that's the one that we have to deal with a lot. And with that situation, that you can see the head move around. He stays down on the ground for a little bit of time, so we think there is enough impact.
OK, a reprimand as well for Stephen May of the Gold Coast for rough conduct against Travis Cloke. This was judged as reckless, low impact and body contact. He would risk a week if he fights this one.
Yeah, in this instance, with the vision there, you see Cloke after the hit. He comes in here, May, and bumps Cloke and just gets him obviously in the wrong spot, forcing Cloke down to the ground and then off the ground. So whilst there is not a huge hit on him, there's enough there to warrant a charge, because we believe that somebody doing that off the ball, if you're going to do that and there's enough force in it, you'll get charged.
OK, now a couple of incidents where players have been cleared to date, beginning with this one. It was much talked about over the weekend. Cyril Rioli, some described it as a chicken wing style tackle, but the panel has ruled he has no case to answer.
Yeah, in this instance, in going through it, you see Griffin grab the ball and he tucks it under his left arm and tries to push off with his right, and Cyril obviously grabs that right arm and then brings him to the ground. For a tackle to be deemed rough conduct, it needs to be unreasonable in the circumstances. We didn't believe that this was an unreasonable tackle. He didn't sling him into the ground or do it with excessive force. He does take him to the ground, but we thought that it was not unreasonable.
All right, I guess the obvious comparison, or maybe not so obvious in your view, Mark, is what happened with Chris Judd and that 4-match suspension that he got for a chicken wing style action last year. Let's take a look at that. Your point is this is very different.
Yeah, we think it's very different. With that Rioli one, you see him hold the arm briefly behind the back, but there's not enough force in it, we think, for a charge in any way, shape or form. With that one, it's completely different. He drags the arm up, and Adams was in a lot of pain with that as well. So with this situation, we looked at the medical, came through clear with that, and so we didn't believe there was enough force for a charge.
Do you still concede that Rioli's action was a little bit of a bad look?
Oh yeah, it's not great, but we didn't believe there was enough force. Similar to a strike that we don't think is enough force in that. We believe that whilst not terrific, certainly wasn't enough for a charge. OK, and one more to look at for you, Carlton's Andrew Carazzo. He was looked at for this contact with North Melbourne's Lindsay Thomas. Not reportable in your view, Mark? No, Carazzo's running through the middle of the ground with his opponent, and Thomas steps into his path. Carazzo braces for contact and obviously makes a contact with Thomas, but we didn't think that it was a deliberate act and that he was just bracing for contact.
All right, Mark, a very busy day for you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
Mark Fraser with us, the chairman of the MRP. Players charged have until 11 Eastern Tuesday morning to launch a challenge if they so wish. We have a full text report on everything the panel has done today online for you. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.